Arise Virtual Solutions connects independent call center businesses to Fortune 500 companies to provide on-demand customer services. When you select your intervals to service one of those companies, your business is making a commitment to that client to deliver a service during those time frames. It is important that clients feel confident about their business partners delivering services as promised. For this to happen, you must adhere to your commitment.
This module will help you understand the ins and outs of commitment adherence and how it is measured. By the end of this module, you will be able to use Starmatic to select, swap, or release intervals, define and calculate the commitment adherence metric, and explain how to successfully meet the commitment adherence goal.
This module is divided into 2 topics. Select each topic to learn more. Arise's Starmatic system is used to schedule service intervals for their clients. The 3 primary processes we'll be addressing with this part of the module will be how to select, swap, and release intervals.
In this section, we're going to look at how the commitment adherence or CA metric is measured, the variables involved, and how you can impact it and improve your score.
Now, let's first take a moment to see why commitment adherence matters so much to both your business and the client. Select each button to read how it affects each party.
The formula used to calculate the commitment adherence metric is total minutes serviced divided by committed minutes. We then take that number and multiply it by 100 to arrive at the committed adherence percentage. Before we see some examples, let's look at how we arrive at these 2 sets of minutes. The way we figure these out is by adding the following variables.
Let's examine what each of these variables mean. Select each book icon to learn more.
Posted interval login minutes are the total number of minutes of each selected interval that were actually serviced. Remember, selected intervals are the 30-minute intervals that you select to service in Starmatic. For example, if you selected 5 intervals, which equals 150 minutes, but were 5 minutes late logging in each time, you would have 125 posted interval login minutes.
Now, excused no-show minutes are the total number of minutes of each selected interval that were not serviced, but for which an interval waiver was issued. There are 2 types of waivers. Select each type to learn more.
Selected minutes are the total minutes of all your selected intervals. So, for example, if you selected 10 intervals multiplied by 30 minutes each, you'd have 300 selected minutes.
Release lockdown minutes are the total minutes for each selected interval you release within the 48-hour lockdown period before those intervals are scheduled to begin. These released or unselected intervals during the lockdown will negatively impact commitment adherence. Keep in mind that these do not include minutes of a selected interval that have been swapped in Starmatic and serviced by another agent. Successfully swapped minutes are not considered release lockdown minutes and will not negatively impact you.
Before we go back to the commitment adherence formula, let's take a moment to look at an example of what it means to release intervals in the lockdown period. It's Monday at 2 p.m. You need to release hours that you selected for Tuesday, tomorrow, from 2 to 6 p.m. Because it's only 24 to 48 hours before the intervals you need to release, it falls in the lockdown period.
Click the forward arrow to continue. We just covered a lot of information about all sorts of minutes, so let's take a minute to check your understanding. Drag and drop each term to their matching definition. Then click the checkmark icon in the lower right of the screen to submit your answer.
Now let's see if you have the commitment adherence formula committed to memory yet. Drag each variable to their correct spot in the formula, then click that check mark to submit your answer.
When Amy was posting for her service intervals, she selected 30 intervals to service this week. 30 intervals times 30 minutes each equals 900 selected minutes. Unfortunately, she did not give herself enough time to get logged in at the beginning of each shift, so she missed the first 10 minutes of 4 of her intervals. 10 minutes times 4 intervals equals 40 minutes not serviced over the course of the week. 900 selected minutes minus those 40 minutes not serviced equals 860 posted interval login minutes. Since she did not have any excused no-show minutes to add, she had 860 total minutes serviced. Amy also did not have any released lockdown minutes, so her total committed minutes is 900. 860 total minutes serviced divided by 900 committed minutes equals 0.955. 0.955 times 100 gives us a 95.5% commitment adherence.
Now let's have you try it. Select each scenario below to work through and find out what the commitment percentage would be.
Fill out the formula as you read through the scenario. Then use the calculator to find the commitment adherence percentage. Click the Submit button once you have inputted your answers.